Should you give an F about the new 2025 horror film, Keeper? Before we get started, be warned, this is a full spoiler review of the movie Keeper. Keeper is the newest horror film from director Osgood Perkins, best known for The Monkey and The Black Coat's Daughter. This time, he delivers a folk horror tale starring Tatiana Maslany and Rossif Sutherland. This movie's set in a deep and isolated woodland where the secrets of the cabin kind of get revealed as the movie goes along. I went in this film mostly blind. I only caught a few moments of a trailer that looked truly scary, and I feel like everyone should go into this movie doing the same thing. Based on what I saw, I was expecting something more scary in general. The intro or trailers did show that there was something filled with like jumps and scares, but like tension that built up through the whole time and added a lot of shock value with the creatures that were shown. It never really did that. Instead, what I got was something far moodier. It was more atmospheric and firmly rooted in folklore traditions. That shift wasn't what I expected, but I'll admit it did add to the blind viewing experience that I recommend people do. The movie Keeper follows a couple celebrating their anniversary weekend at a secluded cabin in the woods. As the days unfold, the couple do begin to notice some strange occurrences going on, mostly from Tatiana's point of view. There are some distant screams, unsettling visions, and nightmares that haunt her throughout the days. She has unexplained phenomena such as the woman with a tied bag over her head appearing and eating a cake. The cake is probably the creepiest part about this. I definitely had my jaw open about it. As she eats it, she definitely continues eating more, and she says herself she hates it, but she can't stop. And then she wakes up in the middle of the night, eats more of the cake, and it's filled with blood and guts. It's definitely jaw-dropping. The movie continues more and more, and that's how the story unfolds with these occurrences that continue back to back. At the beginning of the film, it left me with some mixed feelings. It immediately throws viewers into an abrasive montage. There's women screaming, there's a lot of brief flashbacks of their deaths, and it's an obvious implication that these events are connected to the story ahead. To me, this felt overly blunt. It telegraphs to me the future twist so clearly that it undercuts the suspense the film is wanting us to feel. I didn't feel like letting us let that soak in was very good at all. The mystery didn't build naturally, and the movie practically tells you, hey, here's what's coming. It's about to hit any moment. Where the movie really does a great job, though, from the start is the atmosphere. Perkins excels at crafting environments that feel oppressive, eerie, and alive. The woods are more so creepy and feel very much in your face, and it adds to the overall plot. And the environment hides monsters you see in the background, and you're secluded, so everything around you really feels like you're isolated, even though it didn't get bogged down by that classic, oh hey, there's no cell phone service here. There was calls made, and that added to it. It wasn't something that was really held back in the story, and I enjoyed that a lot. With the tone of this, Keeper is a moody film. It's not overly scary at all, but constantly unsettling. It maintains a lingering sense of dread. The feeling that something is always just out of sight is very well done. While the story is always in your face with what's going to happen, the creatures are very well done. They're not overly shown right away. It makes you feel like that there is something around the corner that's about to get you, and not seeing them out the gate really adds to that horror experience. I feel like the creatures are a slow burn effect, where they're really well done throughout it, and at the end they show their whole purpose and they're used correctly, and that is the scariest part of this film. For better or worse, this film does have a goal or a vision it wants to present to the audience. Whether you liked it or not, Perkins did commit to it fully, and I do have to give him respect for that. As far as performances goes, Tatiana delivered a very strong lead performance. She grounds the film emotionally, and she carries much of the tension throughout the reaction she has, the confusion, the growing fear that she continues through, and I really liked her performance. Rossif, on the other hand, feels kind of out of place. His character exudes an uneasy vibe, but instead of coming off as sinister or deeply troubled, he often just appears simply confused or perpetually out of breath. It occasionally creates an unintentional awkwardness that worked against the film. Eventually, Ross's brother, played by Ket Turton, appears, who serves as a secondary antagonist. His performance leans a bit too far into, how do I say, the obtuse or the overly bro douchebag vibe that he was trying to present himself with. As the over-the-top jerk, it really exaggerated his menace, and it took me out of it as an audience member, and I really did not like it. For the big reveal, the film's central twist is that the Westbridge brothers are over 200 years old. They're kept alive by those mysterious woodland creatures that these entities have been maintaining their immortality in exchange for the women they bring as sacrifices. Tatiana's character becomes the next offering, except the ritual doesn't go as expected. Instead of being consumed like the previous victim, she's actually resurrected and transformed into the maternal figure for the creatures. And instead of her being the sacrifice, the brothers become the eventual sacrifice instead. In a twist we often don't see, I appreciated the uniqueness where the folk horror really played well here, and it thrives on the strange and the mythic, and this definitely took place in this with the witch and sacrifice vibe it had. The problems I have the film, and it has a few strengths, don't get me wrong, but ultimately I can't recommend Keeper as a theatrical viewing, and most of that comes down to the film's lack of subtlety. The film opens by showing the deaths of the past women that were victims. I immediately recognized by the story structure that it was the same as the 2000s thriller What Lies Beneath, where the seemingly normal husband or boyfriend hides a dark past of killing past partners, and from the first few minutes in here I already knew that brothers were responsible for the earlier deaths, robbing the movie of any slow burn of discovery it seemed to promise. Contrast that to Barbarian in 2022. A major tension point is not shown whether Bill Skarsgård is trustworthy or not. That ambiguity fueled the suspense, while Keeper never really gave us that space to really grow. It just spilled everything onto the table way too soon. The significance of Tatiana's character is way too obvious. The movie repeatedly emphasized that she resembles the original witch that the brothers killed centuries ago, and it telegraphed her eventual connection to the creatures. Whether there's a true connection or they just took her on as a maternal figure from her obvious similarities, it was very hamstrung in. Instead of allowing the viewers to piece it together, the script insists on explaining it multiple times. And that leads me to my major narrative question this movie presents, which is, if she only resembles the witch, why is she chosen as the mother of the creatures? This movie loves to explain all the plot points, why didn't it explain this piece? What special quality does she actually possess? On the other hand, with Rossov's character, why would the creatures continue supporting the brothers who murdered their original mother? Why were they allowed to live and continue this cycle for centuries if they eventually just wanted to kill him off anyway now? The only thing I can say to this is the creatures were born, and the Westbridge brothers do shoot her, thus making it to where that they didn't have any animosity, but if they wanted to keep her later, I don't know why they would keep her in now. It makes no sense. The movie doesn't give clear answers here, and these unresolved logic gaps kind of weaken the impact of the finale for me. I do feel like Keeper is very atmospheric, it's visually striking and anchored by a strong lead performance with its folklore elements that really feel refreshing, and the twist is offering something different from conventional horror. However, it does lack the narrative subtlety that I'm really looking for with these horror movies. However, it does lack its narrative subtlety, which I really enjoy with any film, whether it be horror or not, and it reveals way too much, way too early, and it prevents it from fully being suspenseful. I feel like, especially nowadays, good horror benefits from discovery, letting the audience uncover the truth alongside the characters. Instead, Keeper kind of lays it out on the table immediately. For that reason, the film has intriguing ideas and undeniable style, but I can't recommend seeing it in theaters. Wait for it to come out in streaming services that are available to you now. Overall, I give Keeper 2 Fs out of 5. So what did you all think of Keeper? Do you feel like it was scarier than I did? Did you like it more than I did? Let me know down below. For more reviews on movies, games, and other pieces of content like that, please make sure to hit subscribe and hit that notification bell as well.